Hello, folks. We're here today. This here's going to be the last boating and token show that I do. As time passes in our lives, things change and we move on. I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know where I'm going and what I'm doing here. During the COVID-19, I chose to use that as a productivity base. I took it and got my butt in gear, contacted a few folks, made some arrangements, and the end up shot of it was is I love the water and I'll be back on it before long, but sometimes we have to do the things we got to do. And what happened was is that little team I put together, we come to a head on a project, and this project is too big to turn my back on. It's going to change the world, and it'll allow me to do some projects that I have deep in my heart that I want to do that allow me to change the world. I'll bring them to your all attention later in life, another show, because folks, y'all ain't ready for what I got going on. But what I do have going on is I made a decision a couple of years ago that I'm going to leave a bigger footprint of good than I take. You got to give more than you take in this world. And I'm doing some serious giving. Good Lord Heavenly Father has been manifesting for me to get me to where I'm at. And anybody ever tells you the law of positive attraction doesn't work, I got news for you, son. If you believe in it and you work it, the law of positive attraction will provide. It has done for me. It got me out of Florida. It got me to California. It got the right people in my path so I could deal with them. And now, I'm on my road to success. I've never not been on a successful road. I've always managed to do what I had to do in order to make a living and I could survive, regardless of whether it was how it was done. But I always survive because I'm a survivor. But folks, I'm gonna tell you, the gold rush of 1849 ain't over. It's just turned green, that's all. This year alone, the cannabis industry is worth about $80 billion in the United States. That's their estimate. Out there is a fortune waiting to be had. If you think I'll let it go, you're mad. You got another thing coming. Words from Judas Priest. Same words for me, folks. You're mad. You got another thing coming. I ain't letting this fortune go. I can only say two words to you right now. Got bullies? That's all I can say. Got bullies? But until then, this is our last boat and toke on the old boat. I won't be doing any more shows here for the Boat and Toke Show. Next time you see Fat Rat, Salted Shellback, whatever you want to call me, it'll be on the Bolies show. Google it. Look it up on Facebook, Bolies. Get ready. It's a new thing coming out. We're going to take the market by storm. It will be big. Very big. So, it's token time. Here you go, off one of my favorite pipes. This little ceramic job here. Tried and true. These don't break. You drop them on the floor a dozen times, they still don't break. I mean, you got to really throw it down to bust it. It's a problem on a boat. Glass does not work on a boat. It'll break. and you'll drop it every time. So, enough said. Folks, I love y'all. I love the world. I'm putting something back. I'm giving back. This next couple of years of my life is dedicated to giving back. And not for the means of getting rich, just because I want to give back. The world's provided me with 4 grandchildren, 3 beautiful kids, and a stepdaughter. You know, I can't complain about my life at all. I've been blessed. This COVID is just a bump in the road. You know, it's just a bump in everybody's road. How we come out of COVID-19, how you come out of COVID-19 will depend on you. You have a choice. A real choice right now. You can step up and improve your position when you come out of COVID-19 and be better off, or you sit there on your fingers and crying and a little whining and getting a go in your little quiet room and cry and feel sad for yourself because you had it so hard because there might not be no toilet paper in your closet, or you're only down to 3 rolls, or some stupid thing like that because you got suckered in. This COVID-19 pandemic, all this stuff been going on, guess what? They do it in Florida every year. 3, 4 times, 5 times a year. Every time a hurricane comes through, they think might hit the state. Same garbage. That's why people out on the anchors out here, they look at me like I was funny because I didn't get worried about it. I just look at me, no big deal. Why? Why would you? Is this thing on? No. The flu's the flu. If you read the reports, just every year there's a different one. This one ain't no worse than any others. Actually, it's probably less as bad because everybody done stayed in and didn't even get spread that much. Now they want, see, they go from one side to the other. They don't know what they want. Do they want mass immunity, or do they want everybody to get vaccinated? What do they want? Was it crowd immunity or crowd or herd? What was it, herd they call it? Herd immunity. Come on, man, we ain't a bunch of animals. Well, depends on where you go in the United States. You might figure out they might be animals or not. But anyway, the point being is, it's all smoke and mirrors put off to do a couple of different things. It's a bio attack from the Chinese. The Democrats are using it as an excuse to get Trump out of office, or trying to get Trump out of office. Every time you put the stimulus bill up, what do? They tack a bunch of garbage on top of it so nobody wants to pass the stimulus bill, so it makes him look bad. Excuse me? Politics back into business again? Same old crap? The Democrats, any politician in this country that is not on board for helping Trump with curing this virus and getting this country back on track needs to be ousted at the next election. I ain't got to tell you that unless you don't know how to think for yourself. It ain't very hard to figure out. So, enough said on that. All I do is I wish everybody peace, happiness, and the right to pursue happiness. And that's another little TikTok I got to talk about. Since I moved out on the Richardson Bay, my rights have been violated. My civil rights have been just tromped to death. We had, when I came out here, there was 4 docks available to go to shore, or actually 5 counting the fuel dock, which really don't count. There was 5 docks that you could go to shore for public access. Gate 6 closed. I had an argument with the harbor master up there, and he told me I wasn't allowed to come back there. Well, I haven't sued him yet, but I'm figuring that we need to do a class action. It's going to happen. They'll catch him anyway. Then Schoonamaker's closed. When Schoonamaker's closed, the Galilee dock, all they did was sit there wringing their hands and crying in their beer and laughing because Schoonamaker's was closed. It was going to make it hard on the folks that live out on the water. Well, there was one thing they forgot to notice, or they knew about and didn't care about, was going to give them an excuse to do what they did a couple of days ago. They used that as an excuse to close their dock because all of a sudden they were inundated with traffic. Well, if you have a few docks open and there's 100 people using them docks in their dinghies every day or every other day or whatever, they're going to get crowded. And when you take one away, the other ones is going to get even more crowded. It just goes to follow. It don't take an MIT graduate, even a kindergartner could figure that one out. But they sat there wringing their hands. If they'd have been smart, they'd have supported the folks that were protesting the schoonamaker's closed. They'd have sued schoonamakers to reopen their dock on the thing and told them to reopen their dock. But no, they were like, oh, this is cool, ha, 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 they're going to do it. Well, they're getting what they deserve now. Because they don't close their dock now. Because supposedly some people from out on the water were causing trouble at the dock. Well, folks, I live out on this water. I ain't caused no trouble to no dock. Whole bunch of my friends and folks out here that I fellow mariners do not cause trouble at the dock. There's some people that come up from off on land that cause trouble at the dock. There's even a few folks out here on the water that cause a little trouble at the dock. Usually they're dealing with some landlubber on the dock that ain't supposed to be there in the first place. Or if they have a problem with somebody else, they tend to do it, will take care of business right then and there. But the point being is the folks that were crying and complaining about this, all this noise and everything, most of them used to live on the water. So they're hypocrites. And I'm going to be honest with you folks. You go to any neighborhood, I don't care where it is, there's always some drama somewhere starting up. It don't matter what neighborhood it is. Middle Gated community way back in the whatever. Oh, they have drama start up. Somebody walks through the neighborhood and all kinds of drama starts up. All kinds of different things. Somebody brings a guest in and all, oh, who's that? Who's that? Everybody all up in arms. Oh, no, he's a public nuisance. What? He's just walking down the street with his dog. He's a public nuisance. You know, it's all smoke and mirrors. I call it bullshit and lies, but smoke and mirrors is more politically correct. But you know what it is. It's another excuse to take the rights away. Now, the Galilee Homeowners Association, they're real smart folks. I got to give it to them. They are brilliant. They a shining star in the dark night. I'm going to tell you what. Not. They closed their dock in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. It's still going on, and they just closed their dock a couple of days ago. We are now forced closer and closer together to land on the dock. No more social distancing for the people that live out on the water. We're safe out here. When we're on our boats, there ain't no pandemic. You want to come out there and spread your disease to me, you got to row or swim. You ain't coming to me and doing it. I've been on this boat, on my boat, for about 14 days straight now. I ain't even gone ashore. Imagine that. I isolated myself, and I can do it. So I did it. Now my penalty for doing that is I can't get to shore anymore. My civil rights have been taken away. I have a right to live on this water. That was guaranteed in Article 4 of the Constitution. The water belongs to the people. The city of Sausalito, Tiburon, Belvedere, the county of Marin, and I think even the state of California, based on the BCDC's actions, do not think that. They do not acknowledge our rights. They call us a minority. A minority! A minority? Come on, give me a break. A class of people. We're a class of people now. We're anchor outs and we're a minority. Give me a break. We're not a minority. There's a lot of anchor outs in this world. They live all over the world. They anchor out in every port they can find. People that want to live on their boats or don't want to live on shore. The hardy mariners, the ones that ain't afraid to take life by the horns and kick it in the balls. Of course, there's a whole lot of folks that don't want to kick life by the horns and kick it in the balls. They want to live in their little house or their little gated community and their little security thing, and they hope that they're going to be safe. And then they find out that they're not safe because a wildfire comes through and burns their house down. Or an earthquake comes along and blows that thing off the water and just takes it down by itself. Or a hurricane. Or a tornado. Well, folks, the only thing I got to worry about on the water is maybe a hurricane or a water spout, maybe a tidal wave. And the odds of all that is a lot slimmer than having your neighbor light your house on fire, sitting on the bank, living on land. So, y'all are just, a lot of them are jealous because we have freedom. Freedom ain't free, man. We pay for it every day. Costs for marine supplies are higher. Costs for marine equipment is higher. But we pay for it. You don't mind that we pay for it because you're the one charging us. But our civil rights are your civil rights. My civil rights are just the same as everybody else's in the United States. Every American citizen has the same ones. And one of the civil rights that we have is the right to the water and the right to use the water in Richardson Bay as we see fit, as long as we are not interfering with anybody else's right to use the water. Not have a view of the water, but to use the water. Difference. The view, that's what you get by getting a piece of land. You live on that piece of land. You don't buy the view, you buy the land. If the view's there, you're lucky. That's just a bonus. But what are you getting a view of? Whatever you happen to see is your view. Whatever's down there in that other piece of land is whatever's down there on that piece of land. That's the way it is. You don't have a right to tell that person what to do or what their pursuit of happiness is. If they're not bothering your right to pursue the happiness, which is to live on that piece of land you're living on, you got no right to bother them on their piece of land or whatever they're doing on their boat on the middle of a bay. They're not bothering you. They're minding their own business. They're not coming up on your property. They're not getting in your face. They ain't doing nothing. They're just living. And why can't they just live? What does it take? I mean, there's a Second Amendment in the Constitution for a reason. And the government, our forefathers, did not write the Constitution so that the rich and the elitists could rule everything and tell everybody else how to live. That's not how it works. Government from the bottom, the people come first. And when a few want to tell the others that they can't do what they're doing and violate their rights, there's a problem. At this point, folks, I pity the fool. To quote B.A. Baracus from the A-Team, I pity the fool. Because the fools are the city of Sausalito, Marin County, Tiburon, Belvedere. We got them all named. They know they're wrong. They know what they're doing is illegal. They don't care. The end justifies the means. What's the end? To get the anchor outs off the water. They've already declared this. They swore that they're going to get them all off by March 31st of this year. They tried real hard. They ran out of money. That's the only thing that slowed them down. The only thing. That and the fact that the rest of the boats that they're wanting to try and take off the water are occupied. Which means the folks that's on them boats is liable to have something to say about somebody trying to steal their home. Now, if somebody walked up to your house with a bulldozer and was going to crush your house and roll it over, would you have a little problem with that? You bet your sweet butts you would. Well, that's what I'm facing. And that's what every person on this anchorage, every mariner on this anchorage is facing. We have a terrorist out here that's coming around, taking our boats when we're away. They wait till you're not there, and then they snatch your boat and run it through the Army Corps of Engineers and crush it. But first, they poke holes in the bottom of it when it's sitting up there before they got ready to crush it. And they put caustic chemicals in it. Destroy the inside. Destroy your gear. You can't even get your gear back. If you ain't right there when they pull it in there, before they have a chance to blow it up, to mess it up and destroy it, you ain't gonna get it back. One boy did. He had to take 2 pit bulls with him to get it. 3-hour standoff with the sheriffs and the terrorist, Curtis Havel. 3 hours. And then he pulled his boat up. They finally, when the tide come up in high enough, he got his boat up out of there. And they couldn't mess with him anymore. He's back on the water with it. But if that's what we got to go to the next step's going to be armed solutions. And they ain't going to just take them. There will be blood. Mark my words. God bless y'all. If you anybody that's seeing this, you need to say something to somebody. Spread the word. Let them know your rights are being violated on Richardson Bay. Call your state congressman, your state senator, your federal senator. Tell them, look, my rights are being violated in Richardson Bay, California. Not mine, yours, my friends. Your rights. Your rights. They're taking away your rights to access. When they take mine, they're taking yours, because we both have the same rights. God bless and Godspeed.